Hey there, welcome to an exciting journey into the world of genetics and psychology, here at the Sharp Psych. Get ready to discover the intriguing and sometimes mysterious world of men's genetics and psychology facts that may keep you on the edge of your seat. We all know that men and women have some fundamental differences, but have you ever wondered what makes men tick? What secrets do their genes and brains hold? Well, today we're about to dive into those secrets and unlock the mysteries that make men who they are. Before we get into these facts, make sure to check out the links in the descriptions for my best recommendations, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Alright, let's start with fact number 1. Male brains are wired differently from female brains. Did you know that men and women's brains are actually wired different? Yeah, it's true. Scientific research has shown that women tend to have a larger hippocampus, which is the part of the brain responsible for memory. Meanwhile, men tend to have a larger amygdala, which is the part of the brain that processes emotions. So, what does this mean? Well, it could explain why men tend to be more impulsive and aggressive, while women tend to be more nurturing and empathetic. Of course, these are just generalizations, and every person is unique. But it's still fascinating to think about this, right? So the next time you forget something important, blame it on your smaller hippocampus. And if you're feeling emotional, blame it on your larger amygdala. It's all in your genes. Fact number 2. Men are more likely to inherit certain genetic traits. Did you know that genetics play a huge role in shaping who you are? It's true. And when it comes to certain genetic traits, men are more likely to inherit them thanks to their X chromosome inheritance from their moms. Take male pattern baldness, for example. It's inherited through the X chromosome, which men receive from their mothers. So, if you're looking to blame someone for your receding hairline, you might want to give your mom a call. But that's not all. Colorblindness, hemophilia, which is a bleeding disorder, and Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is a condition that causes muscle weakness, are also more common in men because they're inherited through the X chromosome. Fact number 3. Men are naturally stronger than women. Let's talk about strength. It's no secret that men tend to be stronger than women. But why is that? Is it all thanks to biology? Yes, you heard that right. Men have more muscle mass and larger muscle fibers than women, which gives them an edge in terms of physical strength. But wait, there's more. Testosterone, the male sex hormone, also plays a crucial role in building and maintaining muscle mass. So, if you're aiming for that chiseled physique like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, it's time to start boosting your testosterone levels through a healthy diet and exercise routine. Fact number 4. Men tend to be more competitive than women. Are you a competitive person? If you're a man, chances are that you might be. According to science, men have a natural drive to compete, and it's all thanks to our evolutionary history. In the past, men had to compete for resources and mates, and that competitive spirit has stayed with us today. You can see it in everything from sports to business to everyday life. Men are more likely to take risks and engage in aggressive behavior, all in the name of coming out on top. So, the next time you find yourself in a heated competition, know that it's just his competitive nature taking over. Fact number 5. Men are risk takers. Moving on to the next one. I bet you have an idea that men tend to be more risk takers than women. Well, it's also thanks to your testosterone. Testosterone is the male hormone that's also responsible for a lot of things, including building muscle mass and promoting hair growth. But it's also been linked to a higher risk appetite, making men more likely to take risks in their personal and professional lives. The risk-taking behavior can show up in a lot of different ways. Maybe you love extreme sports like skydiving or rock climbing. So, if you're the type who loves to live life on the edge, you can thank your testosterone for the rush of excitement. Or maybe you're more of a business risk-taker, taking chances on investments and new ventures. Taking risks can lead to big rewards, both personally and professionally. And if you've got the testosterone to back it up, then go for it. Fact number 6. Men and spatial awareness. Why men tend to have a natural knack for directions. Let me share another fascinating fact. Men are great at finding their way around. Pretty impressive, right? Men tend to have a better sense of spatial awareness and orientation skills than women. This means that they're better at figuring out directions and navigating through new places. The reason behind that cause is the male brain is wired to process and analyze spatial information more effectively. This skill is partially useful in fields like engineering, mathematics, and architecture, where men are known to excel. So, the next time you're lost, just lean on a guy, and there's a good chance he'll know exactly where to go. Fact number 7. Why men are more likely to be colorblind. Want to hear a colorful fact? Did you know that men are more likely to be living in a world of black and white, or at least shades of it? Yeah, you heard that right. Men are more prone to color blindness than women. This is because the genes responsible for color vision are located on the X chromosome, and men only have one X chromosome, while women have two. So, if the gene responsible for color vision is damaged or missing on the X chromosome, men are more likely to be affected. That means the world of reds, greens, and purples can be a bit confusing for some men, which can be a real bummer when picking out clothes or decorating their homes. But if you're a man who's colorblind, at least you can still rock those black and white outfits like a boss. Fact number 8. Why men might be tougher than you think. You may not have realized it, but men have a higher pain threshold than women, and it's all thanks to their genetics. You see, men have more pain receptors in their bodies, which means it takes more stimulation to feel pain. It's like we have a built-in pain blocker. And if that's not enough, here's a more interesting thing. Men also produce more endorphins, those lovely, natural painkillers that make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and help them to alleviate pain. So not only do they feel less pain, but they also have their very own pain relief system. It's like having a secret superpower. But of course, this does not mean that men should go around trying to prove how tough they are by enduring unnecessary pain. Remember, pain is a signal from our bodies that something is wrong, and we should always listen to our bodies and take care of ourselves. But it's still pretty cool to know that men's genetics give them an edge in this area. Fact number 9. The link between genetics and alcoholism in men. Did you know that studies have shown men are more likely to have a genetic predisposition to alcoholism than women? That's because men have a higher concentration of alcohol dehydrogenase, an enzyme that breaks down alcohol in the liver. This means that men may feel less intoxicated and be able to consume more alcohol before feeling the effects. But watch out, this also means a higher risk of developing alcohol dependence. So, next time you're at a bar and your friend is insisting on another round, remember, it may be their genetics talking. And always remember, drink responsibly and know your limits. Fact number 10. Men are more likely to be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Here's a fascinating fact for you. Men are more likely to be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, than women. Studies have shown that ASD is diagnosed in about 4 times as many boys as girls. Now, while we're still figuring out the reasons behind this, it's believed that both genetic and environmental factors may play a role. Some scientists even think that the male brain might be more susceptible to certain genetic and environmental risks for ASD. So, if you're a guy with ASD, don't worry, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. Fact number 11. Men are more likely to have a natural aptitude for STEM fields. You might be a little disheartened by this one, but on a more positive note, another interesting fact is that men are more likely to have a natural aptitude for STEM fields like science, technology, engineering, and math. It's thought that this could be due to differences in brain structure and function. Men have been found to have a larger ratio of gray matter to white matter in the brain, which could give them an advantage when it comes to analytical and mathematical tasks. So, if you're a natural problem solver and love crunching numbers, you might have your genes to thank for it. Before we get to the last fact, make sure to check out the description for my best recommendations, and don't forget to subscribe. Last but not least, fact number 12, the surprising truth about men and aggression. You know that feeling of being a teenager where everything is just so intense and you're always looking for the next thrill? Well, it turns out that hormones play a big role in that, specifically testosterone. During puberty, the male brain experiences a surge of testosterone, which can lead to increased aggression and risk-taking behavior. That's why some guys can get a bit hot-headed and impulsive during their teenage years. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. As men grow older, their tendency toward aggression tends to decrease. So, if you're feeling a little out of control during your teenage years, just remember that it's not entirely your fault. It's those pesky hormones, and it'll be part of the process. And there you have it, some interesting genetic and psychological facts about man. From their risk-taking tendencies to their superior spatial skills, men are certainly fascinating species, don't you think? We hope you enjoyed learning more about what makes men, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.